I was setting, setting the mood, the positivity with the music here. Hello, lovelies. Those of you that are joining, we're going to get started soon. Just waiting for the last coach, Alejandra. Sarah, you're frozen. Nope, she'll hop back on. How are you ladies doing this morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are? Welcome, welcome. We're going to get started soon. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments so that we can answer them for you.
Is that better?
Ah.
Hey. Sorry, I had all my things off. I was like, shit.
No worries. Now we're just waiting on Alejandra.
I might have to like switch spots, but I think I'm good. Man, I've had my phone off for like 2 days, so I'm just now getting back into the swing of things.
Digital detox.
Yes, for sure. I did, I don't know if you've ever done energy work before.
Mm-hmm.
But I went and did like some major energy work, and it was just, it knocked me on my ass for 2 days. I slept for like 16 hours straight. It was crazy.
Alejandra's here. Ask to join, babe.
I am excited.
For joining us for the live.
Okay, everybody.
Yay!
Yeah.
What's
Hi.
up? How are you?
Good. How are you? Looking very beautiful. I gotta say, ladies.
I was gonna say you too.
On to help a little bit.
Yes.
Hello everyone that is joining. So glad to have you.
Hi, hi, hi. Oh my God.
Don't know us because it's all our audiences that are going to be coming on here. My name is Evelyn. I'm a mindset transformation coach. We also have Alejandra. Alejandra is a love coach. Wave, yay! And Sarah, awareness coach.
Yes. Shalom, everyone.
So we've been asking you guys, to give us some questions that we could talk about here. Not sure if you ladies have gotten some questions, outside before the live, but for those of you that are on, you can type it up and we'll take a look.
Yes, for sure. Please have your questions. We will try to answer them as best as we can, because I know Evelyn pretty much sees everything, and so do Sarah and I, but we will do our best. So yeah, I'm so excited to talk with you guys.
Yes, you missed the dance party I had earlier. Hold on, real quick, that are on here.
Ooh, let me go.
Getting that positive.
That is a cute dress, girl.
Thank you. Thank
Super
you.
cute.
It's a freaking great day.
Yes, exactly. So get started, and what better way to do that than with you two and our lovely audience?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. So, take it away. Actually, well, Evelyn, you were saying you're a mindset coach. Guys, I am a love coach. I help women and men. Men aren't very receptive in opening up and expressing their feelings, but I do help them find love, really, and more tuning into themselves, to love themselves in order to be able to express what they want in a relationship, because many times everyone's no, I don't want to cause any commotion. It's no, you got to express what you want in a relationship and see if you guys are on the same level,
Yeah, for sure.
And so you guys listening or watching, all of us, our topics are different, meaning what our niches or what our focus is, but they all relate. They're all connected, right? Awareness is important. Your mindset is important. And then the action you take for, abundance, for love, for attracting a partner, these things are all one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, exactly. I think the main thing that it comes down to, other than the heart, obviously, is the mindset. Because if you are always in this negative loophole, or you're constantly like, oh, what is someone going to think of me? It's like, oh, like I can't express myself. It's like, no, you have a voice for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And let's face it, ladies, we as women, we're always putting others before ourselves, right? Prioritizing other people and not using our voice to its fullest potential. So what we like to do is empower you and inform you so that you can use your voice better, so that you can use your voice more efficiently, and so you can live the kind of life that you want to live.
Right.
Yep, completely agree with that. Because when it comes down to it, we're always in this like narrow little tunnel of thinking of like, oh, this person hurt me. But I feel like what we don't take into account is a different perspective, like a bigger picture of like, maybe they had a bad day. Maybe that wasn't really lashed out to me. It's like, but then you come to think of like, why did they do that? You have to ask those questions to get to the root of the problem, because it's not necessarily directed to you. Maybe they don't know how to express themselves too, because not everyone's at the same level of like mindset wise of like, shit, did I fuck up? Did they fuck up? Or did something else bother them that then came to me?
Yeah. There's most folks joining. Hi, those that are joining. So quiet, girl. Get in here.
I'm just like, I'm listening. I told you, I'm just now getting reconnected. So I'm like, come on, ladies, let's go. Yeah.
Ooh, hi, Sam.
Hi. Is
Hi,
that
Sam?
hi, hubby?
That's funny.
Yes, that's hubby. Hold on. I need to
Wait,
change
so who
my
is
name.
Sam?
Sam's my husband.
Oh, hi, Sam. Nice to meet you. I love it. I love the support.
Back. So guys, I haven't seen any questions come through, so we're just gonna, continue talking, and then as you think of stuff, just plug it in there. One thing I'm interested to hear and get your opinion on, ladies, is social media, right? Because we're all on social media, we're all trying to push our message, and I've seen a lot of positivity, but also a lot of negativity when it comes to people voicing their opinion.
Yes. Sarah, you want to chime in?
Yeah, so here's my thing, right? As someone who is an awareness coach, I really think that people need to start realizing that it's okay for people to have outside opinions from yours. Like, it's not a personal attack on you when somebody disagrees with your perspective, right? And not only that, but you can be friends with people who have a different perspective from yours. It doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them any less than you. It doesn't make them any higher than you. Different perspectives is literally just someone's perspective, the way that they see a certain type of situation. It doesn't make them a bad human being. It doesn't make them somebody who's not worthy of having an opinion or a voice in the first place. It's literally a different fucking perspective. And that's it. End of discussion, right? Alejandra, I know that we had this talk like 2 or 3 weeks ago about you expressing your opinion and people coming at you. And Alejandra literally said, I made the mistake of voicing my perspective on this situation. And it's like, no, you literally, just because certain type of people chime in on something that's said doesn't mean that your perspective didn't put something into somebody else and made them think about what it was that was being said or what it is that's being taught, right? We're not here to have everybody on our side. Like, I'm not for everybody. The fact that I swear on a regular basis is going to put off a lot of fucking people, and I'm totally fine with that. Because
Right.
if you're hung up on a single word versus the whole entire message,
Yeah.
you're not for me, period.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to be for me. Like,
That's so true.
right?
So speaking of which, since you talked about, you know, that conversation that we had, Alejandra, how did that have your follow-up?
Right.
I did have a follow-up later on that week. I actually had a live here on Instagram and on Facebook about it. And my whole point was more of like, it was just, I want you to wake up to this whole division that is being caused in our world right now. It's not just our country, it's our whole entire world, because it's kind of like a division between race, between sexual orientation, between religions, when it's not the case. Like, we need to be coming together instead of like being divided by whatever the government is being like telling us constantly, because what they're trying to do is having us live in fear and this low frequency constantly. So we're like constantly attacking each other when we should be loving one another.
Yes. And guys that are, you know, watching or who'll be joining at some point, this is going to go into the IG, you know, live afterwards. But the our live is when you know you don't cancel me. And what that stems from is the fact that you have a voice. You have to use your voice properly. You have to have that power. You know, and you are placed in your power. No one can come for you. No one can.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Because this is another thing too in regards to the cancel culture. It's like they want to pigeonhole you in one little spot and keep you like with like fear of like not being able to express yourself and not being able to liberate yourself and being able to say how you feel and how you want to live your life.
Right.
Ooh, we got a question from Inner World Movement. How do you see this playing out between coaches, and what do you see is the solution?
In regards to coaches, I feel like every coach has a different like perspective, kind of like Sarah and Evelyn here. Like, we all have our separate niches, like we said earlier, but we still have that common cause. Like, we shouldn't be against each other ever. It's more of like Evelyn might have a different insight because she had a different experience in her life, as well as Sarah and myself. So
right.
Instead of like being against one another, it's always coming together and finding a better solution for all of us.
Right. And me particularly, and I'm sure you ladies agree, I don't believe in putting somebody down to make myself look better. I'm all about women empowerment, so I'm going to support my fellow coaches. Just because somebody's the same field that I does not mean that we're in competition. There is more than enough for everyone. And attract someone to me may not attract someone to another person, and vice versa, right? There's different flavors for different folks.
Yeah. I seriously
that.
like, I feel like when it comes to coaching in different industries, period, right? It could be whether you're a speaker, whether you're an author, whatever it is. If you have a perspective of limitation, of course you're going to be in a situation to where you try to put down other people in order for you to feel like you're able to obtain and retain your clients, right? So when you are in a perspective of abundance and you are aware enough to understand that there's more than plenty of people on this earth to fulfill everybody's fucking bucket in different aspects, that's beautiful when you have that perspective. Not only that though, right? When you sit there and you have an understanding that, especially as a coach, this is crucial, right? Your clients should not be with you for a fucking lifetime.
Mm-mm.
Like, your clients should outgrow you. That is telling you, when your clients outgrow you, that means that you're doing your job well, right? So if you have great relationships like the three of us have, right? If I have a client who outgrows me and their awareness is up to a level to where I'm like, okay, you need to kind of put it into a different perspective. You're still struggling with relationships. And I'm not a relationship coach because I'm, man, listen. My relationships are something to talk about. I can sit back and be like, go to Alejandra. Alejandra is a perfect love coach. She can help you get to that next level. She can give you something that I can't give you. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm a fucking relationship guru. Hell no. Girl.
That's an important
awareness.
As a have to know your lane and in your lane, right? If you don't have the skill set to help someone in a certain field, it is okay to say, you know what, this is not my expertise, but I know someone who can help you, and you pass it on. And you know what, in you doing that, the wealth, that's going to come back to you, right? We're about abundance, right? Attracting, not the scarcity mindset.
Right.
I actually want to hop on that a little bit too, because we all have, let's say, for example, like myself, like I'm a love coach. I'm not the only love coach out there. There are a million other out coaches. Well, I don't know about a million, but there's so many other coaches that talk on this topic, but they have different experiences in the love topic. It's kind of like, I see so many love coaches, and this may be wrong of like me saying this, but they're like so sweet and like tender and everything like that. I was like, no, I'm going to be like, get your fucking ass up and stop being a dramatic queen, because you're better than that.
I love it.
So everybody has a different cup of tea.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you so much for that question, Inner World Movement. Anyone else? And just type it up and we'll respond.
Yes, thank you so much. That was a really great one, because I mean, there is, it's kind of like, for example, a book. There's so many different books out there on the same subject that have different perspectives, and you retain those informations, and this is where your mind comes in. It's like you differentiate what works for you and what does not.
And sometimes it's, you know, you can hear something 10 times and it'll only click the 11th time because you've heard it in a different way. It impacted you differently. And so that's when you actually apply and absorb it. Right? Let's say, for example, if Alejandra was a mindset coach, right? And we both have our message, our individual experiences. She might say something one way, I might say it a different way, or the experiences that we've had, which drives our coaching, is different. And so that individual will be attracted to that difference. So this is why, again, I say there's no competition for me. It's about uplifting, supporting each other, and again, attracting that abundance.
Yeah. And it's literally about understanding that with different people comes different energy, right? And you're automatically, like, you won't even understand why it is that you're drawn to a certain person so intently. And a lot of it has to do with the energy that they bring to the table, right? But not only that, you have to understand too that, like, the way that I'm able to express myself is way different than the two of you ladies, right? We all do it in a very different way. I even said in one of the calls that we had earlier, right? Like, I'm more of the harsh one. Like, I'm more of like the, like, stop. Like Alejandra said, like, get to it.
But real quick, and I wish we had like signs. Somebody just joined and they're asking what type of coaches we are. So
it's Katie. Hi, Katie.
Sarah, Alejandra is a love coach, and then I'm a mindset coach. Sorry,
you got cut off with the Sarah one. Sarah's an awareness coach, which I think is one of Sarah's friends. So yeah, I'm a love coach.
Yeah, that's Katie. I love her. She's so cute.
Sorry.
But so what I was saying was, like, you have to understand that different people are gonna impact you a different way. But you also have to understand, right, that the point of coaching is to help you elevate and to help you see things that you can't necessarily see within yourself. Our job is not to tell you what to do. Our job is to allow you to go inwards and bring that outwards and realize it yourself, right? Like, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, because the way you live your life is totally different. And if I were doing that, I'm not an actual coach that's giving you the tools you're gonna take for a lifetime, right? Coaching is about for a lifetime. This is not like a quick fucking fix. I had someone earlier come at me about my mindset program, and she was like, well, you said that you know your program's gonna help me, but then you also said that this is not the beginning. Of course it's not the fucking beginning. Like, awareness, mindset, love, all of these things are an evolutionary thing. It's a constant. This is life. It's a constant evolution. It's not a one-stop shop, period.
Yes.
Like, right? Like, you're not going to get everything from one single person.
And also, like Sarah said, we're coaches. not going to do the work for you. We're essentially an accountability
Right.
accountable to take the action that you need to take to get from point A to point B, right? We're a guide. We're not going to do the work for you. If you don't do the work for yourself, if you don't want it for yourself, there's nothing that we can do beyond offering the tools and resources, right? So it's not like a magic pill that you're going to take or a magic wand that we're going to wave.
Right.
Oh my God, yes. This is the thing though, like people always think like, oh, reading this book, right? Or hiring this coach or getting this freaking trainer to get like fit and everything is gonna do everything for you. You have to put in the work in order for things to work, because nothing in this life comes easy, ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if that's the expectation
Say it
you
loud.
have, you're in the wrong place.
Right. And I mean, good coaches, we're not gonna, it's not like you can be like, oh, here's money and let me work with you. No, there is a process that we go through to vet that we actually be fit, right? Which is why we all have our own application process, because we want to make sure that we're able to help you and that you're in it for the right reasons. Because and I heard this and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Our clients are our resume, right? A client,
Yes.
just because of the money you're offering, that's not how it works, guys. We want to have clients we can work with and have them be successful, but that can only happen if you're ready to make the change.
Right. Yep. You have to be in the mindset to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you have to understand. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go for it.
I was gonna say, you have to understand too that it's okay to not be ready, right? Yeah. Like it's okay to not be in that space to be able to make a huge fucking shift, right? And it's perfectly fine. We all have our own timeline. You can't sit there and compare yourself to somebody else in that aspect. But you also, if somebody says that you're able to work with them, you should take that and cherish it and capitalize on it. Like take the work and do the fucking work. Cause like Alejandra, it's hard. It's not easy. Like building your awareness and looking yourself in the mirror a certain type of way is hard work. It does not come easy. I can't tell you how many people I have in a crowd, right? And I'm like, how many of you, and I'm going to ask the audience this now too, how many of you actually sit there and look at yourself in the mirror without putting your makeup on, without just getting out of the shower, without brushing your teeth? How many of you actually just sit there and look at yourself with no other obligation but to look at yourself? It's very hard. Not a lot of people do it. Like, yes, a lot of coaches do it because they understand, but not a lot of people do it. And it's a huge shift. And you have to be ready for those types of things, right?
So I did that this morning, actually. And in the past, I constantly like, I'm not exactly where I want to be, right? Because everyone's a work in progress. But I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, girl, you cute. Like, you're so cute.
I love that.
I was like, I'm fucking beautiful. Like, I'm amazing. Like, this is what you constantly have to tell yourself. And sometimes you feel like you're lying to yourself. Mm-hmm. But it's true, though. Like, you are amazing. You are a light. You are love already to your core. Only the fact that what your parents have taught you, because they haven't been able to like let go of that baggage that they've kept on for so long, as well as society, as well as religion, because everyone is trying to push an agenda. But when you have that mindset, that awareness, that love for yourself, you're like, you know what? I am fucking amazing. I am the fucking bomb.
Yes. And you know what? We're all human. Even us as coaches, we have our days and we're just like, ugh. Yeah. I don't know if you may comment on your body as a woman, comment on your body, or you'll focus on some negative thought that comes, into your mind. And that's okay, right? We're humans. We're not perfect. Right. The action, though, is ensuring that doesn't become a cycle, that that's not the sole focus. You want to, address it and maybe reframe it for the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Yeah, this is another thing, too. Like, someone wants progress done right away, kind of like an Amazon order. It takes time, okay? it's not going to happen in 2 days where you're going to be able to manifest love or have the right mindset or be aware of the actions that you're constantly doing, because it takes work in order to break that pattern, that cycle that you've constantly been on, talking to yourself negatively or thinking of like everyone's out to get me. It's like, no, that's not the case. Like, this is another thing too. Like, people don't like spending time with themselves. Like, when it comes to a relationship, for example, if you've ever noticed that there are maybe friends, maybe even yourself, anyone out there, where you constantly go from one relationship to another relationship, and then you don't actually take the time to process and to heal and be like, what was messed up in that relationship that I shouldn't be taking into the next one?
Exactly. We had a funny comment real quick, Alejandra. Can I insert my please?
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, guys, we're not.
Have it come now.
We're not Instacart. Has anybody wondered why coaches, when they offer their programs, it's anywhere from 3 months at a minimum to longer?
Yep.
It's because change takes time. 3 months is actually, a pretty short timeline, in my opinion. The more common aspect that you see is 6 months and on, because it does take time and effort, and throughout that time, you're evolving. And as you're evolving, we're adapting and changing the process, right? Changing the tools and resources that we provide, which is why coaches recommend anywhere from 3 to 6 months or more.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of something for me, for example, like my coaching container is for 6 months. I mean, I do have an hour if you're not ready for that commitment, because it's like everybody, like Sarah said earlier, it's like everyone is in their own timeline. Yeah. Everyone also is kind of like more of like, I don't know, like you get anxiety of like, I'm not ready to do like jump all in, and that's okay. This is why you have different variations. This is why we have different coaches, because everyone has a different offer available.
Right.
We have a discovery call. You're not sure, this discovery call, it's a free, no obligation session. You can ask your questions. A coach can, talk to you about their offer and give you, more of an idea. And then, like Alejandra said, sometimes we have a one-off session if you want to try it out and see what we're about.
Yep. Yep.
You are so silly.
Yep.
We have a stroller in the chat. I'm not sure if you ladies can see the chat.
I see it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Katie, oh my God, who are you?
They want to go ahead and watch and learn. If not, that's okay. We're aware of it.
Yeah.
Listen.
Guys, any questions? Don't be shy.
Yes, please. And this is another thing that I kind of want to make a point in regards to trolls, right? Like, everyone is always going to hate when you're having a great time, or when you see happy. They may get this point of like jealousy, and that's not something that it shouldn't affect you. But at the same time, emotions, we're human beings. You'll want to react to it, but ask yourself this: did I do anything to provoke that? No, you were doing your own thing. You were in your own lane. So keep on living it up.
This has everything to do with cancel culture too. Like, first of all, if you don't like what's being spoken, scroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period. Scroll on. Like, it's not a thing to where you have to participate. Yeah. If you don't like the discussion, you have every single right to scroll. But another thing that I want to say too, and this is going to be on a totally different fucking level for everyone, right? When you are in a space like this and the energy is on a certain fucking level, right? And the energy is high with positivity and light and shedding love, there's always going to be something that comes in to try and dim it. Okay. Yeah. So this again goes back to the beginning where we spoke about having your own perspectives and being comfortable with it, right? And not allowing people with that negative energy to come and like poke at you. You can't allow that shit. You have to still live in your own light. You have to let it shine through, because if you let it poke at you a certain type of way, it's going to continue to come at you instead of moving the fuck on. Right? Period.
Get it better. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
So we had to decide what to coach. So I guess, our niches.
Yeah.
Go for it, Evelyn.
So my story is similar to the story that others have had. I've always been the person that folks come to ask for advice, who they share intimate details with, even complete strangers. I could be at the market and I'll just say hi, start a conversation. Next thing you know, I'm getting the whole life story. And I don't know my face or my personality, but that was one part of it. The second part was that I had colleagues, friends, family tell me, you should be a therapist, or you should be a counselor, you should be a psychologist. And for a long time, I resisted that as a path I wanted to take. But I was coaching unofficially for 5 years. And then 2 years ago, I got accredited as a coach in several topics. Even though my niche is mindset, I have accreditations across several different topics, which is what allows me to work with, different kinds of folks in the field of mindset. But I chose mindset specifically because when I'm working with women, when I've been advising women, when I was unofficially coaching, the things that always stood out was how they thought, whether it was the thoughts of their life, the thoughts about themselves, their perception. And that's what really was preventing the folks that, again, were part of my life from moving forward. And so I said, you know what? I want to focus on the mindset.
Perfect. That's awesome. I really love that. My story is somewhat similar to Evelyn's in regards to how I came to be a coach. Everybody came to me as well in regards to their experiences and especially relationships. For me, I'm sure every woman can relate out there. Sometimes even men are like, man, I've been cheated on. I've been fucked over constantly. Like I keep attracting unemotional men that are not available, or they're always playing games. And I hear you 100%. Okay. So my thing was, once I let that all go, I was like, you know what? Fuck everyone, in the sense of fuck boys. I'm done with boys. So I wrote out into the universe. I actually wrote it on a Facebook post. And I was like, I want this. I want a man that's going to treat me fairly, who's going to give the same love that I give. And I don't care what race they are, what age they are. I just want them to respect me, to love me, to support me. And I will be doing the same for them. And then 4 months later, I was friends with Sam for a year prior. And then it came down to 4 months after we started dating, and he was more than what I asked for. It's like, this guy can cook, first of all, hello.
I love that.
He is organized more than I am, because I'm a fucking mess. And whenever I have the answers for myself, but I need, sometimes you need that person to bounce off and be like, you know what, you're totally you have it already. It's you know what, I do, I already have it in the bag. Or sometimes we feel insecure and we're like, but you have that man that's supporting you, that's backing you up, or even challenges you, because there are some moments where we want to back down and be like, no, everybody's fucking being a dick with me. It's are you sure you're not the one that's being a dick? It's fuck, I am the one that's being a dick, you know?
Right.
So that's why I came into this whole love coaching, because I have had several women that come to me, and once I addressed them, I was like, have you actually expressed your boundaries? Have you expressed exactly what you wanted? They're like, no, they should know. It's can they read your mind? No. Okay, then speak up.
Why do we do that? Why do we expect people to know what the hell we're thinking?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
My body language said this. Bitch. Okay. That works. What the hell? Okay, so as far as me with awareness coaching, right? And those of you like Katie and Molly's on here too. We've known each other for a long time, right? For me, coaching is something that's new, but it's kind of something that I've always done, on the back end, right? I've always had people come to me and ask me certain types of questions, want my opinion on certain types of things. And even my best friend who's on here, Molly, she always told me, you have this way of taking super complex situations and scenarios and breaking it down into simplicity and keeping the simple things simple, right? That's like one of my biggest things. And it's you know, I never really realized how powerful it was until recently. And for me, awareness is everything. Awareness is everything that I've always worked on for 9+ years. I've worked on looking myself in the mirror, asking why. I've worked on going to different events and pushing my limits. I've worked on putting myself in certain types of situations that necessarily other people would look at and be like, what the fuck is she doing? Like live modeling at art studios. That was one of like my things where I was just like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it and I love it. Like, absolutely love it, right? Like just doing all of these different things to kind of push my own awareness and my own understanding, but then bringing it back internally and being like, okay, I understand how I feel in this situation. Now, how can I take that into like the outside perspective of what I have in the situations that are going on around me, right? And for me, it's a super, like, in my opinion, awareness is like a superhuman tool that many of us don't capitalize on and many of us don't really hone in on. And it's one of the simplest fucking things that you can do to level yourself up in life, right? Because everything starts with awareness. Awareness is like that spark. Awareness is that idea. Awareness is that thing, that vision that comes to you in the shower where you're just like, oh, it was just in a vision. But then having the understanding that maybe this vision is something that you need to put on paper. Maybe this vision is something that you need to like break down a little bit more. Maybe it's not for right now. Maybe it's for later. But maybe I should put it on a piece of paper and like save it, right? Having the understanding and awareness to actually do that and know that not everything that's brought to you initially, like right now, is meant for right now, even though some of it is. Like having the awareness to balance and understand which is for which, right? So that's me. That's why I decided on awareness.
Guys, this is why
I just got all giggly. I was like, oh, this is fun.
This is why this collaborate so much, because it all fits. What we all do fits, right? We have awareness, that initial inception, that initial idea. We have mindset, which takes it a little further. We have the love, self-care, which adds on top of that. So you're gonna see us collaborate a lot more. So
yes. I can't wait.
Ever had a coach?
It's a great question. I have 2 coaches currently, so.
So Sarah, she has 2 coaches currently. Sarah, do you want to end on that?
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, I believe that you should outgrow your coaches, right? So I have had, I think I'm on like my 5th coach now. I have 2 currently. I had one for a long time. Yeah, I'm like to my 5th coach right now. I believe that as you evolve and as you grow, your coaches should grow with you, and your coaches should be someone who's going to who is at a level that you want to get to that you're not necessarily able to reach yet, right? Because that's the limit that you're really trying to push yourself to, right? And again, this is why I say you need to outgrow your coaches, because like for me as an awareness coach, I want you to get to a point in your awareness to where you're like, okay, I understand. I see the things before you even tell me how to recognize them, or before you even coach me in how to recognize it. Now I can go to the next coach, right? So for me, I have 2 currently. I have a physical trainer, and then I have like a business coach. So yeah.
I hired a coach for 6 months, was my first coach ever. And I related to her. And once I hired her, and this is something that I want to talk on too, because everyone, once you hear of a price from a coach, you're like, that's not for me. But when you think about the prices, I think you're thinking about it wrong, of like, oh, I'm not going to get something right away. It's an investment in you to grow your mindset, get you out of your comfort zone, because nothing grows out of your comfort zone. Because when I got my coach, I was like, damn. But you know what? I am so grateful that I hired her, because she helped me set up my business, because I wasn't sure of what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to help women. I know I wanted to have a safe space for them to be able to express themselves in order for me to help them, because that's why I always had. I just didn't know the whole business aspect of it. So a coach, like us coaches, we should always have a coach in our I guess group of system to be able to like teach us their ways, kind of like what Sarah was mentioning of like, you need to have a coach that is where you want to be, because that's the next level, and everyone is teaching one another. Because if you're not having a coach, you're just going to stay in your comfort zone, then you're going to go back to your old ways. And it's like, yes, you should be implementing what your previous coach taught you, but sometimes you need to keep going. And sometimes we revert back to like, you know what, I'm good. Or like, you know what people won't like hear what I have to say. It's like, that's why you constantly need a teacher, a mentor, a coach to be in your support system.
Very well said. I'm going to actually add on to that. But to answer the question directly, yes, I also have a coach. I also have a therapist. Just because we're coaches does not mean that we're any different from every other being, right? We have our own things we need to work on, our own development. And so good coaches often have their own coaches as well. In my case, I'm currently working with an intuitive coach, working on more of the intuition to add more energy-based practices to my mindset coaching, right? Because I want to expand on my offerings. I've also worked with a business coach and a career coach earlier in my career, and I'm actually already looking at a different coach later phase for what I want to do. On top of having our own coaches, guys, we have to continuously build our skill set so that we continue to learn, continue to explore other methodologies, right? Because you never know how you might shift. I might be a mindset coach today, and you know, a year from now, maybe explore a different field. So it's important to be on top of your skill set and development. Alejandra touched on something that is the number one excuse you hear with people when it comes to approaching a coach or deciding to work with a coach, and that's price. Price should not be the thing that you go to when it comes to your development, to your evolution, to your self-care. We'll dish out $1,000 on an iPhone, $2 or $3 grand on a laptop, $1,000 pair of shoes, a handbag, whatever your vice is. We're constantly spending money on these objects that aren't necessarily improving our life. So like she said, flip the narrative and think about it as an investment in you, because your body, who you are, this is for life, right? Yeah. The shoes, the handbags, the car, the phone, that stuff is temporary. So you want to take care of you first and foremost. Ooh, how do you guys feel about astrology? I love astrology.
Look, she's like, let's get into it. Come on now.
Let's see, guys. You're gonna see a little.
Ooh. Oh shit.
Oh, I like that.
This is Virgo because I'm a Virgo.
That's no awesome. Fucking way. Are
That's
you serious?
A good tattoo.
I'm a Virgo rising. I didn't know what the fuck that meant, but I'm a Virgo rising.
This is why we get along, guys. No, I believe that astrology, it does have something to play. The alignment of the planets does affect us, you know, how we interact, how we engage, the energy.
Oh yeah.
Accurate, but it does impact.
Do you have?
I want to touch base.
What does that mean?
I want to touch base on that. In regards to the planets, right? Okay, I'm gonna get very woo-woo, guys. I'm very like spiritual, very like mystic, very all of that. Like, I honestly believe I'm a witch. Y'all think I'm crazy, that's fine by me. But anyways, we come from different aspects of the world. Like, for example, like, I'm not 100%, don't quote me on this, but I think like Pisces comes from Neptune, Leos come from Jupiter, and all of those good stuff. Like, everyone, we all come from the same solar system, but we are currently in this earth to learn some lessons, and we are on a mission. We have this division like we were talking about earlier, but we all come from the same thing. We have blood, we have flesh, we have bones. We're not any different.
Right. Let's see. We have in the time pass an app. It says it's technical, but it's really good. I'll check it out. I don't have it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I have other.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm super into. Ooh, what's that? What is it?
I was just showing the apps that I have on astrology. I have one that's titled Horoscope.
Nice.
It's about the moon. Moonly. Then moon current phase. Like, I'm all about that, guys.
Yes, the working with the moons is so amazing. Like, for example, I've always been attracted with the moon, especially when it's full and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. But that's usually for me, like for scripting, for manifesting whatever it is that you want in your life. The full moon is to release all of those negative things, like let's say of like you're doubting yourself constantly, or you feel like this person is holding you back, let's say, or anything like that. That is the time where you write all of those things that you want to let go, and you put that in a paper, by the way, because when you go from brain to paper, it's you actually sitting with your emotions and expressing yourself. And then the metaphor, the sign of it, when you burn it to the paper, it's like you're releasing all of that. And when you're working with the new moon, you're setting your intentions for this new cycle, this new month. By the way, today is the Aries new moon, so it has a lot of energy. Go ahead and sit with yourself today, journal, like, how do you want your life to be within the next 30 days, within the next 6 months? Like, think about that and manifest that shit.
Girl, I knew I brought this for a reason. I'm like, let's do it. See?
All right. So we
Live
have
coaching for the coaches too.
you pick a coach that's right for you. I'm afraid of great marketing skills with no intelligence behind it. So there's a couple of points. I'll start with this. There's a couple of points with this, right? Coaches that are more established have more testimonials, right? So you can look at the testimonials. You can reach out to the people that are giving testimonials and talk to them one-on-one. You can reach out to the coach and get to that discovery call where you can ask questions, learn a little bit more about them. What I recommend though for coaches like myself, I need to post my testimonials. I don't always do that, but I need to.
Yeah, girl, get on that.
The discovery call is really the best fit for you to do an initial assessment on what the coach has to offer, how the coach works, what they're about, and what the vibe and energy is, right? Because a coach may have a great offer that would make sense to you, but if you guys can't relate on a personal level, if the energy isn't right, that may not be the right coach for you. Secondly, there are some coaches who they're putting out new programs or new material, and they may be offering that at a discounted price. That could be another option, join the course if it interests you for that lower rate. Or there are even coaches like myself. I have this one program, shameless plug, but not shameless. This launching called, Master Your Story. And so I have slots available for beta participants, right? There's 4 modules. You'll get the first module free. And then if you want to continue, you would then pay for the rest of the modules. So really what it comes down to is doing your research. You don't want to take anything at face value. Put in the work, research the person, look at their testimonials, look at the offerings, and get a call in place to learn more.
Yes. I want to add on top of that what Evelyn was saying earlier. With a discovery call, what you're doing is you're getting the energy, see if you guys actually match, because you are interviewing your coach, but your coach is also interviewing you, because it's not just a one-way lane, it's a two-way street, because your energies have to match and be able to work together and relate to see if okay, because you are essentially the student and your coach is the teacher. But at some point you have to keep in mind of your teacher was once a student because of where you were, and they're trying to teach you to get to where they are, because what we're doing is pretty much sending you the life raft in order for you to come to where we are.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to kind of touch on just the marketing aspect, because I actually do marketing myself. And the way that I look at the marketing piece, right? It's just a tool for an individual to get in front of you, right? It's just a tool for somebody to say, here I am. If you're interested, let's connect, right? It's not an end. It's not like, and Molly, you know this shit, right? It's not like the marketing itself is the end all be all, and it's not meant to be like trickery. Sometimes it is, because some people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But like these two beautiful women just said, that's what the transformation, the discovery call, whatever it is that the individuals call it, that's what that call is exactly for, to make sure that your energies are there and to make sure that you guys can actually work together, because you're not meant for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of
like
dating.
Yeah, it's like dating. Exactly.
On that, do you evaluate your clients to see if it's a good fit, like an introductory session?
Yes.
That's a discovery call, right? Like,
Yep.
Yes.
that it's bi-directional, right? You're interviewing us and getting a feel for us, but we're also interviewing you. And one of the things that I do when I call is, yes, we go through the questions and answers of understanding each other. But part of what I do, it's kind of like a mini coaching session, right? Usually when you're talking to somebody, they'll reveal things and I'll pick up, okay, what I'm getting off of you right now are these things here. And if that's something that you're looking to address, my program can do so in this way. So yes, it is, that discovery session is a bi-directional interview where you are both assessing if you're a good fit, but also you as a coach are assessing if this could be a good client and could successfully go through your program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've like had a few calls with a few different people recently, right? And there are some women that I talk to where I'm like, we connect. I can help you. Like, we can do this together. Like, I can be a vehicle. I can be an outlet for you to help you get to that next level. And then there's some people, when you have conversations with them, they're so in their own self that you just keep on getting stops as you're having the conversation, and you just automatically know, like, we're just not a good mix. Like, if you're not open enough to give me that information that I would need to help you get to the next level, then you're not open enough to work with me, because what the hell am I going to do for you anyways? Like, I can't help you. I can't help you if you can't open up and speak. Like, that's not how this works, right? It's a two-way street.
Definitely also research. Some coaches will have their pricing offers already out there. Like, I'm very transparent with my pricing, like, have it right to hide. But also don't focus on that number, because I've had clients come to me and say, hey, like, you're charging for this is your program, I want to work on this. Is there anything that we could figure out? And if I feel like that they're a good client that I can help anyway, then yes, I will work with them. We'll talk about what we want to actually do, and then we'll figure out pricing. So don't let that number like be off-putting to you.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to add in regards to the number, the pricing of everything. When it comes to us coaching you, it's an energy exchange, because we have all the value. We have gone ahead. We've hired our coaches. We've done our training. We've done our certification. We've done the work in order to be able to be more of service to you. And it's not just because, like, oh, they're just going to have a conversation with me and they're going to give me a couple of exercises. Like, it takes a lot of energy out of us in order to help someone.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But not just we give you an exercise, we have to do homework ourselves, right? So we have our session with you, we take our notes, we give you some action items, but the next session that you come to, we have additional follow-up. We've gone through our notes, we've made our assessments to bring that up. So just because our conversation ends doesn't mean that we as coaches with our work.
Right. Yep.
Exactly.
It's just a number.
Exactly. And this is another thing that I want to add in regards to the price thing too. When you feel like that is limiting to you, you're kind of limiting yourself. And we are all abundant. Money comes and goes. It's kind of like what Evelyn was touching base on earlier. It's like we spend our time on nails, on our makeup, on our hair, on like so many other things, instead of actually investing in yourself, in your heart, in your mindset. And like Sarah was saying, she has a personal trainer in order to be able to be where she wants to be physically. Right. And it takes that in regards to finding love, or even if you're in a current relationship right now, you may, and this is something that I've come to realize too, where you're in a relationship, but there are so many things that you're hiding from your partner instead of actually voicing of like, hey, I feel like you've been lacking here. Like, can you back me up? Can we go ahead and like get back to each other again from the beginning? Because when you're in a relationship, there are sometimes that you kind of forget how it was from the beginning. And it's not just about like, let me manifest love. It's also maintaining that love. So it's like, you have to think about it that way. It's all about perspective.
And something that I do, guys, that could help you, like when I'm looking at something that I want and it has like a higher price tag, I will actually break it down, right? Let's say it's like $2,000 for, I'll go and I say, okay, let's break it down by month. Let's break it down by week. I'll go look at my finances and say, okay, what am I spending on that is something I don't really need? Like say I'm having coffee every day from Starbucks or from Phil's. That's like $10 a day. At breakfast, that could be 15, 20. Okay, if I take that cost and I add that, that could be my money towards this, you know, thing that I want. So try to break it down in smaller chunks so you can really see financially whether it's useful for you or not. All right, guys, 5 minutes.
I would say too, like I just want to add on something when it comes to like analyzing cost, right? Money mindset is like it's a huge thing for people because we are conditioned in such a crazy fucking way in the way that we think about money. So it can be a huge leap for a lot of people when it comes to looking at pricing and then just understanding the worth before you even get into it. But something that I've been working on outside of like, I literally do like brain waves at night. I have like affirmation brain waves on money and prosperity that I listen to every single night. So outside of that, also just having, this is where faith comes in, right? Like I'm very fucking spiritual. I'm like angels, spirit guides. I literally just had a shaman do like a whole full-blown energy work on me, which is why I was disconnected for 2 days, right? Molly brought me there. Like I'm into this stuff. Like I get it. And I also understand that sometimes when it comes to certain things, you just have to have the faith that if you invest, if you do the hard work, if you take the time to put back into you, that the things that you're trying to accomplish will be accomplished. You can't wish and just manifest everything without action.
Yes.
You're not showing the universe that you actually want something if you're just saying, please give me, please give me, please give me, and no fucking action behind it. It doesn't work like that. You have to have the faith, you have to have the action, and you have to be able to manifest and visualize yourself in a certain type of position. It doesn't come easy. And this is why we say it's more than just an investment. It's a faith. It's an understanding. It's a belief that if you take these actions, if you do these things, if you put yourself around certain types of people with a certain type of mindset that you want to capitalize on, you have to have the faith that that is going to get you to the level that you need to go. That was for fucking someone on here, whether they're watching now or whether they're watching later. It's for you. I don't know who it is that you're interested in on this live, but that's for you to sit with. I have no idea who I'm talking to, but it's for you to sit with. That was for a specific person on this fucking call right now. So I don't know who it's for, but
I'm happy.
If you're on here, raise your hand. Who are you?
What did you say, Evelyn? I didn't hear you.
Well, I said we have 2 minutes to the hour, so give us your last thoughts.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Evelyn, first of all, for like putting this together. Honestly, it was really an honor to get to know Sarah, really. And just having you guys in my life, it's been such a pleasure because I love getting around other women that are like, I'm for you. Like, go ahead. Like Sarah was fucking challenging me. It was like, you need to go live and we like address this shit from that like weeks ago. I was like, fuck, like I'm not gonna do that.
Yes. I'm super excited for the future of us just working together and us being able to come together and have a bigger impact than what we could have individually. I think that that's super important. I think that the fact that the three of us are going to be on Clubhouse doing all of the talks each week and having different people come on and express a question, an interest, whatever it is that they're going through, and being able to do the live coaching, right? I think it's a beautiful thing to give back to people. And I really think that it's a way to be in service outside of what we do on an individual level. So I'm super excited. I'm so grateful for everyone who was on this call. And I just can't wait, man. We're going to kill it.
Yes, guys, thank you for joining the live. Sarah mentioned we are going to be on Clubhouse.
Yes.
Conversations. It's actually going to be titled Minority Talks, because you know we're all women, we're all minorities, and on top of that, we're ethnically diverse, right? So that's another layer, and we want conversations on ranging topics that affect us as women, as minorities, as different, you know, ethnic groups. So be on the lookout for that. And I want to segue off of the ladies. I am also thankful for them, for this connection, for our collaborations, for our audience, and what we're going to continue to do and offer up to you guys.
Yes. Super exciting. Yay.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.